Okay.
Mick, are you good to go? Mick, if you can hear me, nod your head. Okay. We got Brett Larson here, talk about tonight's game, and why don't you go ahead and anybody have questions asked for Brett? Why don't you go ahead and ask questions here?
Well, Brett, just talk about going into the third period. You gave up 2 late goals in the second. What'd you guys kind of talk about going into the third?
Well, one thing we thought that Western was doing a great job of controlling the puck along the walls and winning a lot of puck battles, and we conversely we weren't winning those. We had a couple opportunities to get pucks out. They ended up in our net. We had a couple opportunities to play pucks behind their D or get a puck on their net, and it ended up in ours. So just a crazy kind of last minute of the second period and a last minute of the third. Obviously, both teams had a couple rough minutes that way, but I thought other than that, it was a good hockey game.
Next question.
Brett, talk about Kyler Kupka's goal. It seemed like that was kind of a hard-working thing that kind of got you guys back into that thing.
Well, he took the puck to a hard area to get to. That's between the dots, and for a while we were playing a little too perimeter, and he was able to find that white ice between the dots and put himself in a good scoring position. Thought he made obviously a good shot through traffic, and you got to get to those tough areas to score goals, and I thought he did that.
Okay, next question out there.
Perbix gets the game winner, but just talk a little bit about his overall game today, because I thought he was big for you guys.
I thought he was a bright spot. I thought Purdy moved the puck really well. His breakouts and transitions were good. He was jumping into the play. He looked at, taking that step to be more assertive and being a guy that can dictate the play a little bit. We've certainly been hoping for that out of him and wanting to see that out of him. He's the guy that kind of needs to fill that, although a totally different looking player, fill the shoes of Jack Ashawn with a little bit of offense. So I was real happy with his game tonight.
Brett, can you talk about playing in the empty building for the first time?
It was really odd experience, and we talked to some other guys, other coaches that have done it, and of course you miss the fan feel, but once the puck dropped, you get so into the game. Boy, I didn't notice any lack of effort from either team, any compete or energy out there. It was odd at first. I would say that the strangest part was during the lineups and the national anthem, but once the puck dropped, it just felt like a hockey game, and it certainly felt fun to be playing hockey again and seeing the guys getting after it.
Brett, to only have 3 total penalties in the game tonight, and you guys didn't get to go on the power play at all. Were you surprised to have such a clean game in the first game of the year?
Yeah, we discipline was a big focus for us. I certainly would like to see our power play get an opportunity or two, but that didn't happen tonight. So yeah, I thought it was I really, other than that minute for us where we kind of fell apart, and obviously we were able to get a couple on them late. Those 2 swings for the game, I thought it was just a really kind of a hard-fought, even game where each team had some momentum pushes here and there. Each team had to weather those pushes, and like I said, a crazy couple odd minutes for each team. But other than that, I thought it was just a real hard-fought game.
In the bigger picture of the season, Coach, are you excited or relieved at all that the puck finally dropped today?
Yeah, it felt great. I mean, there was a lot of nervous, pent-up energy from the players. You could feel it. The puck looked like a hot potato at times out there. I think the guys just had those 8 months of jitters all built up, and there they are one night. So felt really good to get the first one going out of the way, playing hockey again. And you know what, just to be able to be here and competing and playing, man, it means a lot. And it was fun to be out there again.
Yeah, Brett, you got behind their D at least 5 times tonight. Was that by design, or was their defense giving you something?
Well, it's something we've been working on. We call it push the pace. We're really trying to. We didn't feel like we did that well enough last year. We feel we have some quick forwards that if we can anticipate the play and trying to really push that pace and get behind their D. And tonight we just weren't able to finish much off it other than Fitzy. So If we can add that to part of our offensive arsenal, I think it can help us a lot. We were a little bit too stagnant last year, we thought, on our breakouts, and this year we're really focused on trying to push the pace up the ice.
Coach, what did you think of the 4 new guys?
You know what? I was really happy. You know, it's funny. You go in a game with your line chart, and you got Hammer on the fourth line, and I really like that line. I know Coops and Hammer aren't new, but I like Jared Cockrell's energy, compete. We brought him in to kind of replace a Nick and Jack Paling type player, and I thought as each shift went on, he started building that. I thought Seamus Donahue had a nice game, logged a lot of minutes for us, and VT Mettinen rang a couple off the post, and I think you can see that there's a lot there too. And those guys, and I thought Brady Zemer just really battled hard. We're hoping one day he's going to be the next John Lazat here, and he showed a lot of compete and grit and battle. So you know what, I was really happy with those guys.
Brett, was that one of the strangest endings you've ever seen?
Yeah, that was great. You know what, I didn't know what happened. I just saw all of a sudden the puck was in the net, and I saw a guy kind of jumping in the air, and a couple of crazy goals each way tonight, I thought, and that one was one of the craziest though.
Any other questions for Coach Larson? Okay, thank you. And Brett, do you know who's coming in for the players?
I have no idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay, we have Kupka and Perbix, I guess.
Tom, are we just going or what?
Yep. We have Kyler Kupka here, and go ahead and ask your questions with Kyler.
Kyler, just first of all, just describe that game or your game tying goal. It looked like it was kind of a gritty play on your whole line.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even see it go in. I got some space on the half wall, so I tried to take it to the net. I seen my line mate Cockrell driving the net. Was thinking about giving it to him, but just honestly buried my head, put it on net, and just got lucky.
Describe what it feels like, after going through all last season. You had 2 points in 12 games to get this first one in the first game. What does that mean for you?
It's just a lot of fun. Like it's fun to chip in and help the boys win some games. So that's all I got.
It's been about 9 months now since you played a competitive game like this. Did you feel you had your legs underneath you in the first? Did it take a little bit of time to get going here? What was that like for you?
I think physically we were fine. We prepared a lot. We had a lot of scrimmages, but I think just mentally, maybe a couple shifts to get your mind right. Maybe like see some plays that maybe you didn't see first couple shifts. Just getting your mind right.
Yeah, Kyler, it seemed like your line got stronger as the game went on. Coach had you out on the ice late in the game. Did you feel like you had a lot of confidence at that point after the way the line played the whole game?
Yeah, I think we're at our best when we keep it simple. We got Hammer, who's a great player down the middle, and Jared, who's a grad transfer, got a lot of depth. So it's really easy playing with those two guys, really reliable players, make strong plays. So I think we read off each other well, and I think we had a lot of success tonight.
Kyler, you gave up two late goals at the end of the second period. What'd you guys talk about after the period?
Personally, I thought we had a great second period, or at least early on, but kind of shot ourselves in the foot there with a couple turnovers, couple soft plays. But we just talked about how we're a resilient group, and I think we showed that in the third. We came out strong and eventually got the win.
Kyler, can you talk about playing in the empty building today and what that was like?
Honestly, it wasn't much different. Like once you're in the game, you're locked in. There's a lot going on. You got stuff you got to worry about. You got to worry about your assignments, like what you got to do, your details in your game. You got to worry about the other team. So besides like creating your own energy, wasn't really much difference.
Do you have any other questions for Kyler? Okay, thank you, Kyler, and congratulations on the win tonight.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Nick Perbix coming next.
We have Nick Perbix here, and go ahead and ask your questions of Nick.
Nick, just kind of describe the play on the game winner, because it starts all the way back in your own zone.
I know there's a little bit of just a puck battle, I guess, and was able to chip it up, and there was an odd man rush, so I gave it to Micah, and he was able to find me in the middle. And I guess when you put pucks on net, good things happen.
Can you take us through the first goal too, the one you assisted on to Kevin, because it looked like you threaded that about as perfect as it needed to be.
I mean, he just had to find a way of getting open, and he made it easy for me. I guess I just put it in the right spot, but he put it away great too. So it was nice to get us on the board early.
Yeah, Nick, when Western scores those 2 goals late in the second, what's the mindset heading into the third period?
I mean, when you take a couple minutes off in this league, every team top to bottom is going to take advantage of it. And so I'm sure it won't be the last time it happens to us this year. So it's good to see us respond in the third and ultimately come out with a win.
Nick, have you ever scored a stranger goal than that?
I know. I don't think so. I mean, put it on net, and I was turning to get back to the blue line or wherever I was going to go. And I don't even remember who it was, but he just started screaming at me, and I look in the net, and of course it was there. So it was pretty good. I don't know. Good luck, I guess. Better be lucky than good sometimes.
Coach said you guys had a lot of pent up energy heading into this after the long layoff here, and your teammate Kyler just came in and said, that really translated well into getting your legs underneath you early. Would you feel that's the case as well?
I mean, yeah, after taking 9 months off, it's good to get back on the ice, get back in the game. And yeah, no, I mean, it did help us early. We've done a lot of work throughout practice, throughout these months that we've been here as a team. And yeah, no, so it definitely helped us.
Yeah, Nick, a lot of stretch passes tonight. You got behind their D a number of times. Was that something the Western defense was giving you tonight, or was that by design?
I mean, our forwards are really good at finding those soft areas, and I mean, we just take what's given, and obviously it worked out a couple times tonight. And I mean, I'll look for it in the future, but it's not something that we game plan for. We just take what's given.
Do you have any other questions for Nick? Okay, thank you, Nick, and congratulations on the win again tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Should I? The other guy.
Coach, tough loss there on the last minute goal. Why don't you just give your thoughts on the Broncos' first game of the season?
Well, it certainly was a tough loss there. I like the energy our team played with, and obviously I look at St. Cloud, and now they've we've got a lot of younger players. They've got some more veterans, and I thought they played very well as well there too. They got great speed, and but I liked how our team competed and battled. And, I came in the dressing room after a tough loss, and I asked Paul Washy, "What's it like playing with this group of guys?" And he said it's a lot of fun. He said our guys compete, and they're a fun group to work with. They're disappointed right now, but we talked about it. We'll have a good day tomorrow and prep for a real good Omaha team in a couple of days. But just disappointed with the loss. We had 3 power plays. Had some outstanding chances on the power play, but didn't score. And, that hurt as well there too. Tough way to lose on that last goal there. I know Josh feels bad about it, but those things happen in the game. It's unfortunate we've had 2 of those kind of in our last few games. At the end of last year, we had one that cost us a sweep at Duluth as well. To exactly the same thing, we knocked it into our net. But we're a young group, and they enjoy playing together. And this is a battle, and we'll prepare to play the next game. This one's over.
I'll take questions for Coach.
Coach, right at the end of the second period there, what kind of got you guys going and gave you the lead? It seemed like you had a nice push there.
We needed to. We didn't have a lot of a push for a few minutes after Brandon Bussey got injured. We kind of sat back a little bit, and they had some good chances. But a couple of real good plays by our guys, and certainly the goal that Jason Poland scored, bringing it off the wall. The goal that Scooter Bricky scored for us. We had a freshman with a big hit at St. Cloud's line there and turned it over, and we went back down and scored. So just a matter of executing and competing, and certainly a good way to go into the period break with a couple of goals there at the end of the period.
Andy, do you know the extent of the injury to Bussey yet?
I just saw him briefly at the end of the game there, and we'll get it checked out tomorrow. I'm sure they'll get an MRI with him, and I think, as everybody could tell, it looked like a lower body injury, so I'll use that line there. It's a lower body injury, but I just don't have the specifics right now. But a good player for us, no question, but that's why you have more than one goalie, because these types of things happen.
Yeah, Andy, to piggyback off that, can you talk about Austin's play in relief?
Yeah, Austin is a senior, although I guess in the NCAA this year, all the seniors are really juniors because they can come back and play another year. But he's just a great young man and has battled every day in practice for us over the last 3 years, and had a very good training camp. Looked good, real good in our brown and gold games, and was deserving of the chance. And we've got Alex, our third goalie, who we're really high on as well too. He's a big 6'5" or 6'6" goaltender. He's young, but we think he's got a big upside as well there too. But Austin is a good goalie.
Well, in the game winner, it looked like Passholt was just coming back and trying to back check and trying to get the puck clear, and just had a bad bounce, huh?
Yeah, I think it's maybe the interview you did with him there that he was. No, that was a great story on Josh. He's just such a quality young guy, and we quite often don't get a lot of Minnesota players or Western Wisconsin players coming to play with us at Western, but he's been a really good one for us. So I feel bad for him. He's hanging his head in the room there, and he'll more than make up for that with some big goals this year. But we did the same thing, exact same thing as Adam can tell you against Duluth. We won the first game, and the second night it's tied with about a minute left, and Cam Lee tries to grab a puck high above the net and knocks it into our goal. So it was just kind of deja vu there. But that was a tough one. But happens in the game.
Coach, outside of the result for you, is this the kind of hockey you maybe expect these first few games heading into the bubble, or perhaps even throughout the whole 3 weeks here?
When you say this type of hockey, what do you mean there exactly?
Momentum changes, a lot of funny bounces, just kind of a little bit of you could tell it was the first time out on the ice for a few guys.
Yeah, I thought they looked pretty good myself, but I mean, there were things that went on, and we had a lot of guys. We had 6 freshmen playing their first game of college hockey tonight. We had some other guys that maybe in past years haven't played that much, and they were excited. I mean, I was excited. I mean, as a coach, that's about my 46th first game of a season, and I was excited about it as well too. But both teams played hard, and certainly I think St. Cloud is a much better team than they were last year, and we're right there in the mix. I mean, they're a good team, and I like our group as well too. And we've got some good young guys coming that maybe other people underestimated, but they're good hockey players, and we're excited about our group.
Andy, can you talk about playing in the empty building for the first time and how much of a difference that made, if any?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even notice when a building's full, other than maybe at Larson there and how crazy it gets. But you're so focused on the game and trying to get matchups, and Coach Firschweiler and Coach Shayak are going at each other with their PK and their power play and so on. So you're just focused on the game and trying to have your next unit ready and make sure that you're making any adjustments that you need to make there. So didn't really notice it, to be very honest with you. I mean, our game was pretty excited. Our players were excited on the bench, and there was lots of energy there. So, I didn't really notice, obviously you'd love to have a packed house and give people the opportunity to watch quality hockey, but didn't really notice the difference. My heart was still pounding all the way through the game. So, yeah, it was fun. It was fun after this period of time, guys, and fun for you guys to be able to talk and write about hockey and ask questions and that type of thing. It's just good to be back. And, I'm looking at the faces here and I'm feeling guilty. I should put my mask back on, but there's nobody else in the room here with me. But yeah, I mean, we got to get through this. And the fact that the NCHC did such an unbelievable job, and Omaha here did a great job setting it up. And, like every team, the commitment of our players since the beginning here has been phenomenal in terms of taking care of themselves and, staying at home and so on. So it's just special that we're able to play it. As I told them, chasing a piece of rubber around some frozen water, there's a lot bigger things going on in the world right now than that. But for 2.5 hours or whatever it took tonight, it was a lot of fun being involved in it.
Coach, just one last thought. No penalties for the Broncos tonight.
Yes. Where did that come from? We talked actually in the 2 games against St. Cloud last year. And if you look at our record at the end of the season, when we got everybody back in the second half of the year, we didn't take a lot of penalties. I think the last series, Brad, in North Dakota, there weren't a lot of penalties in that last series last year either. Just I think when you got good players and you can skate and play with pace, and we can skate and play with pace, and when you're doing that, you're not going to take as many penalties as we've maybe taken in previous years there. So our first few years in the NCHC, we were built for the CCHA, and we weren't built for the speed of the NCHC. But we've got players now that can skate. They can play physical, as we saw tonight, some good hits, but they can skate as well. Yeah, no penalties. Great job by the referees, I'd have to say.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Good to see you. Sorry, Mike, I didn't realize you guys were
Thank you, Coach.
We'll have Ethan Frank coming here in just a minute. Ethan, I guess just start us off. Josh is a guy, he's a classmate, known him for a long time. What do you tell him after the game?
Just to keep his head up, that's a simple, honest mistake. It's jumping in the air and you're pretty high at that point. And with no fans in the stands, it's kind of hard to see the puck. So, we got a lot of games to play, a lot of hockey left in the bubble. So, just tell him to stay positive and not worry about it and kind of brush it off and get ready for the next one.
6 brand new players making their debut tonight. How did you see things mesh out there?
Good. We played a lot of games against ourselves in preseason and training camp, and we feel that we came ready to play and just kind of made some mistakes, but we feel like we did a lot of good things out there as well, and just got to build off of those and kind of correct some mistakes, and we'll be good.
All right, we'll open it up to questions for Ethan.
Ethan, what kind of turned some things around there for you guys in the second period? It seemed like St. Cloud had a lot of momentum, and then last 5 minutes, you guys kind of turned things around. What helped that?
Just kind of staying positive and good energy towards each other on the bench. It's like stuff happens out there, mistakes happen, and you just kind of got to stay positive and not worry about the last shift, but worry about the next one and make sure that you do what you can to, have a good shift and kind of worry about what's in front of you instead of what's behind you.
Any more questions for Ethan?
No fans in the stands. Did it feel weird? And how's the bench energy tonight?
Yeah, it definitely is a little weird. We're used to a couple thousand people in the building, whether it's for or against us. So it was a little weird being a little quiet out there, but it's good. We can talk to each other a lot more and, hear each other on the ice a little more clearly. And, that's one of the things that we tried to put a staple on before we got here was, building our own energy because we don't have any fans or like the lunatics that we love. But, we're just trying to build our own energy and create it and worry about how we can stay positive and high energy for the whole game.
Ethan, to be back playing in your hometown, I know considering the circumstances with this event, but what's it mean to you to be back here?
It means a lot. Usually I get a lot of friends and family out here to watch the games, but, since they can't come, I just kind of got to do it for everybody that's behind the TV watching and supporting the Broncos. And, it definitely means a lot being able to come back to Omaha and kind of know what's around and what's the good little food spots that we can get to go and stuff like that.
Ethan, you guys handled them pretty well last season with both games at your place. What did they do a little bit better tonight against you guys?
A few things, I kind of got to give Coach Shayak over there a little bit of tip my hat to him because he kind of understands on what we're doing and knows what's going on our end. So, he probably gave him a little inside scoop on things, but we plan to turn it around and pick it up a little bit the next time we play him.
How big of a blow is losing Brandon there for you guys?
It's big, for sure. He's a great goalie and we depend on him a lot back there to make some saves and keep us strong throughout the game. But, that's part of the game. It happens. You get injured and, thankfully we brought 3 goalies, so they're both ready to go in net and, just tell him to keep his head up. Like injuries happen. You just got to battle through it, get through it, you'll recover and you'll be back better than before.
All right. Thanks, Ethan.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
You too.
Thanks, everyone.